Hello and welcome to the podcast of the Card Table, in which we discuss creation, practice, performance, and history with the greatest minds in Magic. Before we begin, I'm incredibly excited to let you know that this episode is now brought to you by MAGICBOX, one of the UK's leading bricks and mortar magic shops, and because of that you can grab yourself 10% off at their website with code PATCT, that's PATCT, more details later on in the episode. Enjoy! Today's guest is a world-renowned magician best known for his part in BBC Three's Killer Magic and getting to the finals of Britain's Got Talent. Not only that, he's worked with some of the most internationally recognised brands such as Disney, Tesla and Coca-Cola, bringing fast-paced street magic to millions around the world. It is, of course, the incredible Damien O'Brien. How are we doing today? You well, man?
I'm good, bro. That's quite an introduction. Thank you.
I mean,
Thank you very much.
It's quite a life you've lived, so that is an
It's been pretty
introduction
wild.
in accordance with that. It's been a pretty crazy few years, and we'll come on to this a little bit later on, but it's been 10 years to this year since Killer Magic was first filmed, which is crazy, because I think that was the first sort of introduction I had to you and your magic, and Killer Magic was a big part, obviously me being on the younger end of the magic age range. Killer Magic was sort of the program that I grew up with. Killer Magic, Dynamo, Troy, as opposed to some of the older stuff like the David Blaine specials. I never really had that. So you were part of inspiring me into getting Magic. So
thank you, man.
Thank you for that.
No, thank you.
We're going to quickly jump into your origin story for anybody that doesn't know who you are, for anybody that's been off the radar. And we're going to look into how you first got into Magic, how it came about, and then we'll get slightly more into knowing you on a magical sense, and then we'll dive into some more in-depth questions after that. So how did you first get into Magic? How did it all come about?
It's for me, what got me into Magic, when I was growing up, there was a magician who lived opposite me. And he was like 6 years older than me, but he was doing the tricks you've seen David Blaine doing when he first come out, like around in like 98, 99. And I fell in love more with the reaction than the trick. And I loved the way the other kids were screaming, way they was responding, running away, freaking out. And I don't know what I wanted to be able to do that. I wanted to be able to like get that response, because because it was so much fun seeing that. And I bugged this guy like every day to teach me a trick. He finally taught me a trick, and the first trick I learned was the card on the ceiling, which is crazy when you think that's the first trick you learn. Yeah, that ain't like, it's so really basic. And I spent months working on this trick, perfecting it, and like coming up with like different routines around it. And you realize I was like, oh, you're actually serious, you really like this. And then he showed me where to go and like start educating myself to learn more. And he introduced me to Davenport's Magic Studio. And that was it. Once I found that place, I was hooked, and it just was everything. I loved it. Like I would sit there all day, like just practicing, learning new things. And like I loved the fact that there was just so much there to do as well. It was everything from coins, cards, mentalism, all these different things. And there's always something like what would blow you away, especially when you first get into it. You see say like a vanishing deck routine with the black box. You're like, wow, where's it going? Like, and being like that. And so yeah, that's how I got into it, and I've never looked back since.
In transitioning from initially seeing those things from the guy that lived across the street and then moving into Davenport, how did you then transition from that into actually working in the professional sense as a magician? Were you doing regular gigs like you're normally doing now, or did it sort of move a little faster, obviously, then moving into TV work and things like that later on?
It all happened by mistake, really. I had, when I was younger, I was like, a few people was like, oh, hey, do you want to come to our party? If you do a few drinks, we're like, give you some drinks. I'm like, cool, yeah, free drink. Oh, hell yeah. And then it started off performing out in local bars and stuff like near me, like pubs and stuff. And I got into that, and that really like honestly helped mold who I was those first few like couple of years of getting to learn what it was like performing in the real world, to like quite harsh crowds, like, you know, in the pubs. Some people don't want to watch. They're a bit like, yeah, leave me alone. I've had a long day at work. I just want to have my beer. And it just sort of snowballed from there. And then I started going down into West End. I found about a party, got myself into there and started doing magic, and ended up meeting this guy who was running the Brit Awards after party. And he was like, hey, look, people loved you tonight. I know you wasn't actually booked tonight. You blagged your way in here. Would you mind coming down? I was like, yeah, cool. And then we went to this Brit Awards after party a few weeks later. And yeah, bit by bit, I was just like, I fell into it. It's like this was becoming my normal job now. And yeah, it just went on and on and on. And this was at that point, you think there weren't really social media or anything. And then, yeah, I ended up getting linked in with companies like MySpace when they was first around, and working like a lot with them. And they got me gave me that first kind of maybe push, where they was getting me in front of artists like at the time, like Nelly to Akon, Kano, Estelle, Chris Brown, all these big names. And it really helped, because then I was posting these photos on websites when people was really like, let's go to their website. That was the social media. If you got a website, and obviously then MySpace as well. So that was kind of like my sort of journey of starting to realize this is something I really want to pursue and do full time.
Oh, there were some absolute throwbacks in that.
Yeah.
My goodness, names.
I'm showing how old I am now.
Haven't heard mentioned in like 15 plus years. So
exactly.
Nice to hear those names again. But that's really cool. It again shows that mentality of just sort of getting yourself in front of people, blagging your way into bars. Like, it's the grind, the hustle, like the OG method of getting into Magic, as opposed to nowadays it's sort of being, you know, social media, yeah, and then from there it runs from there. So it's nice to see somebody coming through from that avenue, and it's certainly done you well.
I think as well, you then appreciate it more when you've worked from those points and you've gradually taken the steps. It's like climbing the ladder, right? It's no different if you worked for a corporate company and you started off working as, you know, an intern, and then you've worked your way up to the top. You appreciate, because you knew the grind and the work you had to put in to get to that point. So for me, I think it's, you know, I'm very appreciative, because I remember, you know, everything where I've come from, the tougher times to the better times, you know, and the in-betweens. And yeah, I think you do appreciate that a lot more.
Yeah, and it gives you the chops. It gives you the runtime that then later on, when you're getting into those sort of paid gigs and things like that, you have the time under your belt. As you say, gigs in pubs and bars and things like that, noisy environments, you're invading people's space. They just want to have drinks and have fun. They don't want to see Magic. And you're still going in there, you're still entertaining, and you're still creating Magic for these people. So to then come out of that into sort of professions where people actually pay to come see you, or like you've been paid by the event and people actually want to see the Magic, it then makes that significantly easier. And then when there's obviously a little bit of a kickback, you can shut it down immediately, because nothing's going to compare to what you've gone through. Sort of
100%. And it's good. Like, I learned a lot from those sort of things. I remember one of the first sort of gigs I've done in these pubs, the guy went to me, was like, look, I'm going to be honest, your Magic was really good, but you won't stop trying to do that weird, mysterious thing like David Blaine went, like, talk you and let your person. He was like, let your personality come out. He went, because when you was just chatting and being yourself, he went, you was like really chilled, really funny, and it was really nice. And I took that so on board. Like, I was like, okay, this makes sense. Like, you know, at the end of the day, they're the public. They know what they want to see. They don't want to see, you know, someone trying to be that. And it was a good learning curve, because I was like, okay, cool, I'll take that on board. And now it's like, yeah, I'm just so myself. Like, I have fun at gigs. I show I'm human. I'm like, you know, you see magicians, they do try to do that mysterious thing that where they don't talk, or they just walk away. And I'm like, why? Just talk. Or like they go through a robotic, and I'm like, just have fun, play, smile. Like, it's okay. And it's like, and it just shows you're on a similar level to the people like who are watching this, that you can just have fun with it. It's not just be this weird, mysterious art form. It's let's have fun and enjoy it, because that's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be enjoyable.
Yeah, and people are going to remember you for who you are as opposed to remembering you for the trick that you did, which is all well
Exactly.
and good, but with 90% of working magicians doing the same working repertoire,
Mm.
you're
But
going to
and
have to
it's
stand out somehow.
yeah, I mean, like honestly, I always say 10% is the trick, 90% is performance. It's
Yeah,
how they got to remember you. If you worked in a room, you're doing a gig maybe with 5 other magicians, you got to make sure you stand out, and
yeah,
that they're gonna love you for, that I want them to like remember when next time they're at a wedding or something like that, these people, and they see me, maybe a magician. They'll be like, oh yeah, this is great. We met a magician called Damien. I want them to remember that name. I want them to
yeah.
be able to like, as I said, tricks, yeah, that they have fun, but like most importantly, that they met a really cool guy. They had fun. This guy was good. He was entertaining, and they don't forget it.
Yeah. You mentioned there, obviously, working in a room with a multitude of magicians. One thing that you're doing at the minute is Magician's Table.
Mm.
Obviously, it's very much a family of magicians. Is there still a little bit of sort of friendly competition, trying to get better reactions out of tables when you're going around?
No, actually, it's all
Oh,
right.
okay.
'Cause we actually, when we're there, we're like, oh my God, like we need to control the noise level of the tables. We're actually saying that because you can't overhear each other. Like you're like, because the tables are close, and it's like you get your table where it's like someone is just like they're screaming almost for the sake of screaming.
Yeah.
They're not like it's just like they're doing anything. You could do that with your thumb, and they'll be like, ah! And so yeah, it's not too bad. No one's really in competition, and it's a nice work environment.
Yeah.
We because a lot of times magicians, we work on our own. So there, when you come backstage after you've done one of your sets, and everyone's backstage just talking, so yeah, that table's really great. You're gonna love them. And this went down well. That went down well. Yeah, that table's maybe a little bit stiff, and it's like when the next magician comes out, yeah, they were stiff. It's like you go, thank goodness it wasn't just me. It's like you're realizing, like, all right, I ain't gotta be hard on myself because sometimes you're like, was that just me? Like, if you did a
Yeah.
corporate gig or so, like, or anything, and the reactions ain't as strong, you going like, was I just having an off night? Was I
Yeah.
bad? But so like when you get that, you're like, okay, cool.
Okay,
Like
that's
every
fine.
magician's had some drama today, so with that table, it's okay. But yeah, it's a great show. I recommend anyone who hasn't come and seen it yet, come down and see it. You'll have a great time.
I've yet to come down to do it, so I'm gonna get myself down. There's a
Come
couple of
down.
things I need to do in London, man. Phantom Peak, Bridge Command, like some immersive stuff. So I'll make like a week of it and just come down and blast out everything in one go. That's
Calm
probably the best
down.
way to do it.
It's really good. There's some really great performers there. It doesn't matter what day you come on because like the magicians rotate quite a lot. Like you have like so many different magicians, and they're all fantastic and just so highly skilled at everything they do. Like you'll just be leaving like, wow, that was so good. Like as a magician, obviously you'll know a fair amount of what's going on, but like it's still the way they perform, the way they interact with the audience. It's great.
It's those things like the further down the rabbit hole you get with magic, you start looking past methods and you start looking at the intricate details and the theatricality of the performance as opposed to being like, I mean, you can still appreciate the method. Like if there's a slight in there that you look at and you go, damn, that was clean, then fair enough. But you're looking at it and going, wow, the way that you created this emotion with this trick, it's not something I'd ever expected, or the way you did this, like
Oh,
you can then appreciate it for a whole different level, which is nice. And it's nice to hear that they're also giving you a heads up about the
oh
other
yeah,
tables and
yeah,
stuff as well.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, it's like you need it as well. Like, and because sometimes some tables are like, oh my God, like you'll have that one person who just wants to over talk everything,
Mm,
or they're just so over loud and so over the top where you got to actually go to just relax a little
related.
bit. Calm-
Yeah.
just calm down. It's good. Like, and we're glad you're excited. We're excited that you're excited, but just
No one else can hear anything, so
a
shut up.
little bit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Always in a polite way. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, of course. Always polite. We're gonna delve into some sort of quick fire questions. I say quick fire; they are in inverted brackets because it's never ever quick fire. But we'll see how we get on.
Cool.
The first one is: what is your favorite sleight? Obviously, this doesn't necessarily have to be cards. Quite a lot of people tend to assume that immediately means cards, but this could be cards, coins, could be stage related, could be other props. What is your favorite sleight?
One hand top palm.
Oof! Straight away. Is it just like the satisfaction after putting in the time and the repetition and
The- the- I've
enough
got a
you
reason
movement?
for it. I've got
Okay.
a reason for it. So it's I learned it from watching John Banham
Yeah.
years ago, one of his videos, and he was doing the one hand top palm, doing the card under the box. And I got like, I've got quite small hands. And anytime I did a normal palm, it would poke out. I'm like, why can't I get this right? Like it'd always be out just like a little bit of the corner. One hand top palm, it's perfect, it's perfectly hidden. So I know the card can hide there, but I can't do it with two hands properly. But one hand top palm, I'm quite quick and I'm like, this fits perfectly. How is this working? So yeah, for me, it's like that's a weird little satisfaction that I can palm. But
That's so strange. That's such a roundabout way just to get to that, just so that it works properly. But I mean, fair play. If it
and here's
works,
the
it
weird thing,
works.
right? I don't even use it that
Oh,
much. It's just, I'm like, I like the one hand top palm because I can do that thing. And I know loads of friends are like, damn it, I can't do the one hand top palm.
yeah.
And they're just like, it slides out. So it does the opposite what they do for the two card. I don't know why.
I hate it, man. Palming in general. Again, I also have relatively small hands, so I'm more a cup kind of guy than a
Yeah,
palm kind of guy.
I love
But
a cop. That's all I do when I'm doing cards in pocket. Like it's just boom, quickly cop it off.
yeah,
Just
it's
like
so clean, so angle proof. It's
yeah,
great. You mentioned that obviously it's not something that you normally do. I find that in quite a lot of these chats with people, often they name things that they don't really do, but it's just stuff that's taken forever to get, like the diagonal palm shift and stuff like that. Really like
mm,
technical, intricate movements that are
yeah,
just super satisfying to do, but don't necessarily see the light of day. But because you
yeah,
put in so much time and effort and practice to get to that point,
yeah.
it's just one of those things where you're like, yeah, love that.
Yeah. It is. It's like not many people are going to do a clip shift live, are they? Or not many
Yeah.
people are going to do a Bertram change, whatever it is. It's like you're not really going to do these because of the angles. But it's like as you just said there, it's satisfying knowing like the amount of time it took to learn that, and it's
Yeah.
suddenly you get to this point. It's like I'm not going to be defeated. I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn this. And when you finally get it down, you're like, yeah, great. Now go over there.
And
I
then
don't want to look at you again.
never did again. Clip shift especially, man. My goodness.
Okay,
I do not have
Jesus.
the finger dexterity for that. It's a joke.
Yeah, it's a tough move. It's a tough move.
Do you have a particular favorite plot in Magic? This could be something that you yourself perform, or it could be something that you enjoy watching. Is there a particular favorite plot that you tend to sort of favor?
I don't really have like a favorite plot, so to say, because everything I sort of do is like kind of sort of in the moment. It's how I feel with the audience and the crowd, like, and how they're responding. So sometimes I may like build it up a little more that like I'll sort of talk about like mentalism, like with um, like make people reading minds, and I say like I'm not really into all that, but I do believe you can make predictions ahead of time. I believe you can influence a room of people and without them even realizing. And so that is maybe like kind of like a little plot what I like, where it's like making them believe that you're making these predictions, you're openly telling them, and I'll bring people in and go, look, I'm going to show you this prediction. I'm writing it right here. You can see this. I can't change my mind. Or you have this. You've got it in your hand now. And then you go into the trick, and obviously you're using whatever methods you're using,
Yep.
and obviously it matches. So then it's just like, wait, what? But I see them do that. They had, and to the audience, it's such a fair choice.
Yeah.
It feels like, it can be more fair. So I think that is probably some, shall we say, yeah, there's a
Okay.
plot there. But most of the time when I'm doing close up, I'm kind of like, yeah, let's do this. Let's do that. Oh, quick,
Yeah.
give me that. Give me this. But I think my ADHD runs wild at that point. I'm just like, yeah, let me do it all. So
Fair play, man. I think open predictions, one of those things that's super fun, especially if you're letting just one person in on it as well. They almost feel like, wow, I get to see what's going to happen ahead of time. And then
yeah,
when you get that confirmation from the person at the end where they go, no, he really wrote that down like before this even
yeah.
started, then you have the conversation just sparks from there and it just goes to absolute chaos.
Yeah, it
So
does.
I agree.
It's crazy. It's because you can like even sometimes like with Magician's Table, I do one routine where I actually let like quite a lot of the people in on the table other than the participants. So everyone's involved, and they're like, so they and I joke, I'm like, use a lot are on my side and I think like, you know, and I'll mess around. And but then when they say whatever, and you see everyone's reaction at the table go, and this one person like, no, he's not done that, and I'm like, open it up, and they're like, and they just go wild.
Again, it allows for like multiple levels of revelation. It's not just one like finale. You then get these multiple hits of like gasps and amazement, which is definitely the best way to go about it, because it makes it so much bigger than just this is what you were thinking, and they go, oh yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Whereas like
exactly that, like
each other.
You've got to build that moment. You've got to really build it. You got to layer it, because you know last thing you want to go. It's so funny. You're like,
great,
cool story, bro. Next trick.
Next table.
Yeah, even that.
I don't know if you're a massive reader of Magic, but if you are, do you have a particular favorite book or something that? It could be something that you perform stuff from. It could be something that you go back to reference from time to time. Is there anything that stands out in your mind in Magic literature?
I wasn't a big fan of reading as much because I always kind of struggled with it. I always found I learned Magic easier seeing it visually and in front of me. But for actually books I did really sit there and read and really loved was Art of Astonishment by Paul Harris. Really, really great, especially the second book. That was the one for me, and I learned so much from that. Like moves that I didn't even know I was gonna like. There was like such crazy ideas, like with the Hershey's chocolate bar to making it come full again, to stuff with coins, like with napkins, to even one where you would reveal the like 4 sort of jacks by moving one card as they all sort of flopped out. There was reset. I used to love doing that trick. You know, I can't even remember the handling on reset anymore. It's been so long, but I loved it. There were so many little, because it was just so different. It was so much wild ideas in it. And it's like, whoa, this guy is like so out there, like ahead of his time of what he was thinking. And I remember the one thing I remember taking from Paul Harris's book, and I've still never seen anyone do this with proper coins, where you had 3 coins, you had a flat one, then you had one stand up, another one, and you had to put a bit of pressure and release pressure, and it would make the coin in the middle start rotating and spinning. And I'm sure he said if he could see anyone do so many rotations, he would like credit them or something. And I've never seen anyone do it, like just constant rotations. And I remember just sitting there like with loads of like $50 coins, just constantly doing this. And trying to get, and I think like the most I ever got was like a rotation and a half, and I was like, damn it, and then it just dropped. So like the coin, you're like, damn it, you kept trying and kept trying, but yeah.
Jeez, fair play, man. It's those like intricate knacky maneuvers, coin stuff especially. Like I'm very much a card guy at heart, and coin stuff.
I suck at coins.
My mind. Yeah, same.
I suck at coins. Like I love watching, so I can do, you know, bare minimum to get it through. But like some of the coins, I just look at you and I'm like, I hate you because you're so good at that. Like Sonia, she's Sonia Benito, like, you know, that she's phenomenal at coins. Like stuff she does to me, and I'm like, oh, I hate you. And like she'll send me stuff, and like she'll send me like messages every day, and I'll like, and it could be something she's doing with a coin. And I'll say, oh, is it like? She'll be like, no, and I'm like, okay, I hate you then. Look, because I don't know how that was done. Like, and so she's always like fooling me with a lot of coin stuff. But I guess she's super, super creative. That woman, like, it's unbelievable. The ideas she comes out with, unbelievable. And like, I always joke, I always say, like, when I grow up, I want to be as good as you. She's, I like, people think I say it because she's like my best mate, but like, honestly, she is one of my favorite magicians to watch performing, but also creativity like wise, she's crazy. Like I've seen her next video she's putting up today already. Obviously this is going to go out, so I can say it already. There's one where she suddenly starts crying blood, and it looks phenomenal. And then like she changes her ring. Like, and this ring is like a big bulky ring, and it's just like this, and there's nothing in her hands and nothing, and it just changes. So like from pearly white to like all covered in blood stained ring, and I'm like, this looks wicked. Like, it's so good.
Ooh.
It's so theatrical.
I'm
so
excited.
when you get to see that after this, it's really good. It's really great.
Sounds incredible. I'm looking forward to it. Do you have a particular favorite performance that you've seen, whether this be it could be in person? Obviously, you've seen a lot of people perform, especially at the likes of the Magician's Table. I can imagine you got a lot of friends and other magicians that are showing you stuff all the time. Or it could be something on television. It could be something that you've seen live in theatre. Do you have a particular favorite performance that stands out in your mind?
I have a couple, to be fair. One, if it's like, if we're going to go for stage, I was lucky enough to watch it live, which was Teller doing the Silverfish live.
Yeah.
That is like, it's so beautiful. It's mind blowing. It's phenomenal. Like, when you see it and you're like a few feet away, it's just like, this is so good. Like, it's so good. Like, and you know, from the coin productions to like, you know, that alone looks great how he's doing the coin productions. And, and it took me a while to learn how he's getting the coins. And when I got it, I was like, oh my God, that's a master. Like, so genius. And, but it's also the performance, the little bits of it, like how funny he makes it if he takes someone's glasses and he drops one off each lens to, you know, pulling little bits off them. And he's just like, from arms here, there. It's like, and they just come from it. And then when he does the first bit and nothing happens, he's like, and then he takes a few more, and then now there's like hundreds of goldfish. It's like, oh my God, that was like phenomenal. Like, it's, it was just nuts.
Yeah,
Like,
I remember seeing it for the first time, and just again, it takes you back to being a kid. Like, even understanding, as we say, methods and being able to appreciate that, still seeing the coins turn to fish, I was just like, what? There's no way. And it just, again, absolutely fooled the pants off us when I first saw it. And I was like, okay, this is.
And it's such a nice feeling, right? When you get fooled like that, because it's just like, that was so, like, and there's part of you like, you don't even care about, you don't want to know the method.
No,
you don't care about it. You're just like, fantastic. Loved every single bit of that. And it's kind of, it's like those things what like inspire you to get into magic, to like want to learn magic. That was so cool. Like, how do you do that? And it's like, you just leave with a big smile on your face, like, you know, big cheesy grin from ear to ear. You're like, this is like good. So
I think as you sort of fall further down the rabbit hole of magic and you start understanding more techniques, being fooled becomes significantly less often. And when you are, my goodness, it's such a special feeling. Like, I love nothing more than being absolutely blown away by a trick and just being like, I haven't got a fucking clue how that happened. Like, absolutely love that.
Yeah, it's like, it's just wild when every now and then you get one like that. You're like, oh, so good. Like, I love that. Like, you just, all you want to do is like, I don't know, like, you want to relive that moment again.
Yeah.
I'll see it again. It's like, I want to see it again. Like, please do it again, because it was so good. Like, actually, like, there was one on last Sunday. No, Saturday, sorry. It was at Magician's Table, and it was Rob James, and he had this old trick, and he done it to all like, and it was just basically like almost like a bit of a coin matrix where they're jumping from the three cards. So it was just three cards in a row, and the first one goes. So it was like, wait, what? And then it was the third one when he openly shows nothing under the cards, and he said he just parts, and there's all three. I was like, when? Like, and I was like, when did you get the like? And I watched it 3 times. I was like, you fooled the living crap out of me. I was like, that's so good. Like, and it was really, really great. And I do love moments like when you get fooled, and I'm like, oh, that's so good. And then like when I like realized what it is, I was like, oh, that's so smart. Why didn't I think of that? And then you're hitting yourself.
It makes you really realize just like how much of an impact that can also have then on other people. Because if that's how you're feeling in that moment, as a lay person watching it, my goodness, the feelings that you create.
I went to him. I went, please tell me you're doing that today. Like, you're going to be doing that trick today. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to do a
Right,
bit of that.
nah, it's not quite good enough. I'm just going to be working some of this stuff. All right, yeah, great.
Yeah. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Apologies.
Sorry, it'll get edited.
Who would you say are your influences within Magic? Obviously, I can imagine you
Mm,
have a lot of friends that you're influenced by, even to this
mm.
day. But if you had to narrow it down to sort of 5 or 6 people that have been a major influence on either your performance style or like in your learning, who would you say are your top influences in Magic?
I think, first and foremost, it'll probably always be David Blaine, like, was that one I sort of grew up watching on TV and like really relating to, because it was like he stripped it all back from the stage, because I think all, like, if you wasn't exposed to Magic from knowing someone in there, like, you kind of looked at it, it was like Magic's only really done on these big stages and illusions and stuff like that. And I think grew up getting to watch much Magic. I didn't see much Magic on TV. I know people did see people like Wayne Dobson and stuff like that, and Paul Daniels, of course. But I don't. Honestly, I can't remember watching them as a kid. And so then I ended up seeing like David Blaine. I was like, wow, this is so cool. He's just doing it up close. He's doing it with this, and it felt real. So I think that was the first sort of ones. Other people like who have been a big help, inspirations of my career, like is would have been Anthony Owen, who's sadly no longer with us. I truly feel like he gave me so many wonderful opportunities and gave me a chance and just saw something in me. And I'll always be very grateful for his time and efforts he put in. Of course, Sonia, she's always like inspiring me to do more, to do better. Like, again, I just love her style, everything like that. Bo Kramer, I don't think people realize how intelligent this man is. Like, if it wasn't him, like, he helped so much with the BGT stuff behind the scenes, like, so much. And he's helped me with so many different other projects throughout the years as well. Like, same as Sonia, like, they sort of act as consultants for me for quite a few things. Other magicians out there, Wayne Houchin, loved Wayne Houchin. I wish he would come back and do more. I know he'll have his reasons, but I remember just watching everything he'd done, and I loved it. Like, the guy is just so good. So yeah, I sort of fall onto those kind of people. I know that there'd be a lot of people like, oh, there's Darren, there's this, there's Penn and Teller. Obviously, they've done this. It's like, yeah, it's cool, but it wasn't like the inspiration on my career. It's like there's a lot of people who have helped me along the way, like people like Russ Stevens. He helped me tremendously throughout BGT, and I can't be more grateful to the man, because again, another person who saw something in me and it was able to help me work towards my strengths, and knew, right, don't do this, this is how we're going to do it, this is what's going to work so well for you. And I just trusted the process, and like, I listened, and we collaborated. I was telling my ideas, he'll tell me his, and of course you have like your back and forth, like, no, that's shit, I want to do this, or like, you get that. But like, at the end of the day, it was like you had to trust a guy who understands it, the way that show worked. And so yeah, he's been very great, and obviously helped me a lot, and I've got a lot of time for him. So yeah, there's quite a few people, and I'll always be grateful for anyone, like, and I always just say, like, always be on the lookout to work and be inspired by people as well. There's so many amazing magicians out there, and what you might see at the beginning, maybe, but like, eventually something could come from that. Like, where you go, oh yeah, my God, do you remember this? And then it suddenly just inspires you out of nowhere.
Yeah, inspiration can be found in everything, man. Like, not even just the magic world. You can take magical inspiration from absolutely everything. And
I agree.
from those inspirations that you've named there, in seeing your performances, you can see where you've taken inspiration from each of those people, and you can see how that's really shaped who you are, and it must be incredibly cool to be able to call a lot of those influences good friends of yours.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's per chill. Like it's very appreciative of all of them, and I always make them be aware of how appreciative I am of them and how much I owe to those people as well. And I'll always do, whether they need me for stuff, I'll always be open to do stuff for them. I was terrible. When I got asked this year if I could do Blackpool for like next year. So like Cat got out of bag a bit early. Like they put up the wrong post the other day, and I was like, oh damn. So they put a grid of saying already announced, and there was a picture. I was like, we didn't announce me yet. And I was like, so yeah, I was like,
Spoiler
I was
alert.
really adamant that I wasn't going to do Blackwell. I wasn't sure. I didn't feel like I had the right stuff, and yeah, I've kind of been roped into it. And I was like, okay, I'll do it.
Too late now, brother. Too late now.
Yeah, so I'll be doing the international close-up show and the 2 lectures as well. So,
oh, incredible!
So I've got some really cool tricks. Actually, I'll be releasing. Really cool, really cool.
I'm excited. I very rarely get to see anything at Blackpool. Obviously, working the MAGICBOX stand year in year out. The dealers hall is absolute carnage 24/7.
Oh yeah,
but if I can slip away for lectures and things like that, then I'll try and do so. So hopefully
you can catch it.
try and get an hour off from the bus. We'll see how that works out.
But, you might come back and go, Jesus, I've just wasted 45 minutes of my life.
That's a lunch break I'm not getting back.
Damn it, you'll be charging me, be like, oh,
I highly doubt that. The last part of this quick fire section, before we get a little bit more in depth into sort of your magical journey so far, is magic industry gripes. We're going to take a little bit of a turn from the niceties of magic influences, and we're going to ask you, is there anything in your opinion that you don't think deserves to be in the magic community and needs to be spoken about?
Ego. Get rid of the ego. Like it's the biggest killer in this industry. I think that needs to go, and because so many people are so lovely in this industry, but there's the problem. What gets in the way of them is ego, and so that to me is, I think, what can be a bit of a downer at times. Like sometimes maybe as well, not enough support for each other. Help each other grow, lift each other up. Like, doesn't matter if, like, I used to sort of say this to people when there's like, oh yeah, there can only be this one magician. And I'm like, no, there should be multiple magicians out there, like musicians, like actors, like who all get in that limelight. It doesn't matter. Like, yeah, your thing's unique, but so what? What says in the world only one person should be getting all the, their roses? Like, like it's. So I think that's the thing we need more is more people to hype each other up, support each other. Like, don't be worried about it going, oh, I can't show another magician because I might not get the work here and there. I don't care less. I'm like, wonderful. Yeah. Like, you're doing so amazing. Fair play to you. Like, I think if you're like that, then you've got a lot of insecurities about yourself. If you can't do that, to me, I'm just like, I've learned from very young, no matter what it is you do, there's always someone better. Like, like always someone better. And there's that old saying, right? If they like you, it doesn't matter what you do. If they don't like you, it doesn't matter what you do. Yeah. But you're never going to please everyone. But just focus on you, have fun, and enjoy it. Because that's what you got you into magic, because it was fun, because you loved it. Yeah. So carry on doing that. Stop thinking too businessy and like, I don't like them. Their ideas very similar to something I may have created. It's like, oh man, relax.
There's enough space for everyone. There's enough.
I agree.
For everyone. There's enough gigs for everyone. And I think especially the work that you're doing, as you say, with Bo and Sonia, like it just goes to show how collaboration can have a massive effect on all of you guys, because you're all uplifting each other, and in doing so, you're all succeeding from the work that you guys are doing. So
it's exactly that. Like when I do live gigs, and most of the time, if anyone asks for a second magician, I'll always put Sonia forward because one, I trust her work, I trust stuff like that. Again, she hasn't got this ego. She's just like, she'll do the job. Like I've had magicians who have, unfortunately, I've got them work and then they try and take the client. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're like working with me. I'm right there. And you know, that's not it. It should be like, you know, let's help each other out, let's help each other grow, let's all, you know, get that money together. let's all perform, like, you know. And I'll work with everyone and anyone, you know. I'm always open to that idea. It's, you know, I don't know, but yeah, I think egos,
the only way to keep the industry going forward, man. Like,
of course,
collaboration and just sort of helping everybody else elevate. As you say, egos sort of stagnate progress, don't they? Like, it just halts where you can go at that point, which is infuriating.
Because there's a lot of people, right? They may not like that style of magic you do, or something like that, right? It may just not be their cup of tea.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean it's bad. Like, it doesn't mean you have to hate on what they're doing. It's just be like, cool, do you know what? It's great. Like, right, so there's a lot of people who do social media magic only, right? They may not be great up close performing, I think, but they're doing well still, and it's just times moving forward. So still support that. It's just, you know, appreciate their hustle and grind they put into that, because they didn't just grow overnight and get all those followers and start earning money. They had to put hours and hours and hours of work into it to get to the position they're in. And it's no different now. Social media is pretty much the new TV. So like, people are scrolling and streaming and, you know, watching socials more than TV than ever. And if they're just showcasing, like, that's why Magic is releasing, that's why dealers are releasing so much Magic stuff for social media only, right? You know, there's so much of that. And I've got no problem. I'm like, you, man, you ain't hurting no one.
It's one of those things. I can't remember who I was speaking to about it on a recent episode. We were talking about sort of the older generation of magicians being sort of annoyed that the newer generation haven't had to follow the same journey that they have to get to the position and success that
different
they have.
Times.
But yeah, it's bound to change. And
if they grew up now, like if they came now, they would be doing all the same things. They'd be like, wow, we got social media to promote ourselves. We've got this.
Yeah.
We've got, you know, we can go to events. There's more bars stuff. There's like, you know, I can grow as an influencer and here or there. And I got maybe, like, you don't have to call around every bar and restaurant because you was using yellow pages back in the day. I did that. Like, you know, I was going into all my local bars, like doing free gigs to just try and get them to book me as a resident each week. And so I get, maybe it's like, they don't understand how hard I worked. And it's like, that was them. We don't maybe understand how our grandparents worked before that, before there was websites and stuff. It's like, well, you know, you had the internet to promote yourself.
Yeah. And I think it's easy to look at the final product and go, wow, you've got this easy. When realistically, they've not then seen that hundreds of hours that they've put into social media promotion, editing, audio, visual, like practicing stuff. There's so much more behind the scenes than I think people realize. And because that's just the image that they see, they go, yeah, well, that's it.
I get it when they're like grumpy and it's like all the person is doing is purposely exposing the trick. It's like everything. They're like, that's a whole different story when they're just like literally revealing stuff that don't belong to them. It's not, say, open source material, like, you know, like a sleight or something like that, which is, you know, a very basic thing.
Yeah.
But like when they're like, I don't know, they're revealing the latest trick out on the market, then it's like, dude,
it's crazy, man.
Then I get the anger. There's no need for it. So yeah.
I could babble on about exposure.
Oh yeah,
day,
me too.
But...
Me too. Like I'm kind of a mixed one. It's like I remember when people was jumping at Alex Pandrea and Chris Ramsey and guys at Foot, and I'm like, they're teaching it well. They're teaching it very well. They're not going David Blaine's mysterious trick revealed or something like that. They're literally going, cool. You got to know what you're looking for when you type that in, what they're doing, but they teach it very well. Where so that didn't really bother me as much. And it's like I've taught some card shit, and I've taught some very, very basic, and I've like done some like these optical illusions, a bit like Pete Furman and stuff like that. Like, you know, you ain't gonna do any damage of anything. Like now it's like, because YouTube is the digital library of the world. If you want to know how to fix something, YouTube. I want to know how to cook this, YouTube, TikTok, whatever it is. So people do look for things like that because maybe they ain't got the money to go buy all these books or these DVDs, these downloads, but they've got an app what's completely free at their fingertips, and they may be learning of someone who's very good, and then it inspires them, and who knows where they go.
Yeah, I think exposure for educational purpose, fair enough. Obviously, providing it's not somebody else's marketed effect.
Yes, it's exactly that.
Entirely, but like if you're doing it purely to try and help better the industry, help get more people into Magic, then fair enough. I get that. I understand that. But if you're just doing it for the views or for the money, like
for the clicks, oh hell no,
not helping the industry or other magicians at all. And I can think of 2 or 3 people off the top of my head that are doing that. But
oh yeah, me too.
It's infuriating, but hey, hopefully it dies off slowly but surely. And again, I think something that we mentioned on a previous episode again is, especially with the new generation of like TikTok, Instagram, you're sort of force-fed those even if you don't want to see them. Whereas the likes of Alex, Chris, they were putting out YouTube tutorials for specific moves and things like that, where people had to actively go search for that video, then they had to actively sit and watch and go through the entire process of doing it, as opposed to just, here's a 2-second clip of the trick, and here's a 2-second breakdown of exactly how it's done. Before you can even scroll, before you can even compute what's happening in front of you, you've already seen the method for something that you didn't necessarily want to see.
And that's it. And again, like the way they filmed it, edited, it was done so clean, so well. Like those guys, they made it really like, okay, cool. Like I got to put time in if I'm going to learn this. I've got to work at this. Like you needed to, again, you needed to know what you're looking for some of their things.
Hopefully one day exposure will die off and it'll not get the views that it does.
Exactly.
It's a fast track for views at the minute, which is making people do it, and it's infuriating. There's so many more ways to go about. Like Jack Rhodes is a perfect example. He is making viral hit after viral hit without exposing anything. Even his slow-mo stuff. Sure, there's a few bits and pieces that are caught on camera, but it's all, as you say, open source material that people could actively find if they wanted to anyway. It's not like he's exposing big branded stuff. So there's so many ways people can go about it. It's just laziness, but that's something I could babble on about all day. We're gonna jump out of the quickfire segment now. 45 minutes in quickfire. We're going to have a little bit more of a deep dive into some of the previous stuff that you've done, try and get a little bit of advice from the incredible life that you've had thus far in Magic, and we'll talk a little bit later on about the stuff that you've got going forward as well. Just a quick interruption before we get into the next question. Obviously, with this podcast comes a ton of recommendations from guests of either books or tricks, and logically, I turn to MAGICBOX. Not only do they usually have exactly what I need, but I can get it the next day. Plus, Graham and the team really know their magic, so if I have any questions or queries about a product, they're ready to answer over the phone or email. And as a bonus for you listeners at home, you can also grab 10% off with the code PATCT. Just head to magicbox.uk.com and use the code at the checkout. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. Now back to the episode. The first one is, obviously, you are very much you. You go outside of the general stereotype of what a magician should be. You're not suited and booted. Like, you are very hip and street, and that is who you are. So how did you go about creating your style and your persona? And how can others go about finding themselves and developing their own style without falling into the general stereotypes of what they expect magicians to be?
Well, I remember when I was younger and like I was like sort of thinking around about doing gigs, and someone like they knew a magician. They was like, "Oh, you should speak to him because like he does a lot of magic and everything like that. He performs in here and here." And like the first bit of advice was, I'll make sure you got a good suit and stuff like that. So straight away saying you have to wear a suit and stuff. I'm like, right. And I think, so I remember doing like my first gig in this pub, and I'm wearing a suit, and I'm looking around, and the only other people in suits, if they maybe just come from the office, everyone else is very casual and chilled. And I felt so uncomfortable. And I was like, I don't feel comfortable really wearing a suit. Like, it's not really me. And I was always like in a, like from a kid, like in a baseball cap, t-shirts, like jeans, trainers and stuff. And the next time I went there, I was like done this gig. I was like, I'm going a bit more as me. And I remember putting like kind of like sort of like more like smarter jeans, t-shirt jacket. So it was like casual kind of smart. I felt so much more comfortable and happier. And I felt like it showed. And I instantly was like, this is me. This is how I'm going to be. And I remember like, I say it to a few people now. It's like, the more comfortable you are, the better you will perform. I don't mean turn up in a tracksuit, but like, you know, still have that. If you're like more comfortable, like wearing what you want to wear, like, you know, where it's casual, smart, whether it's a smart, like leather jacket, t-shirt, jeans, some trainers. At the end of the day, they're booking you for your tricks and what you're going to perform. You know, it's like saying, right, we're going to get Eminem in here. You got to wear a three-piece suit. It's going to tell you, like, you know, 2 words. I'm not going to repeat them on the podcast, but we're pretty much sure what he's going to go. And it's like, you know, we're individual artists, and it's what makes us who we are. It's like D. Christopher, very gothic style. He's not going to change it. That's him, and he uses it to his advantage. Same as me. I use my style, my look to my advantage because people don't think I'm a magician. Like, you know, Jeff McBride, I remember him saying it years ago. You want to walk in that room and everyone's like, wonder who that is. You want to stand out from everyone else. Same as like when I was going into nightclubs, when I first started doing nightclubs up West End. You know, people weren't in suits and stuff. They're like, unless they maybe come from an office, but then by that point, their jacket's off, they're maybe in a shirt, their trousers. And I was like, right, cool. I'm going to be more myself, blend in, feel like I'm part of the club or whatever like that. I'm there on their same level and I'm doing everything like that. And that's just what fitted me better. So I always say to people, try and be yourself. Sometimes it's hard to find your authentic self at first, you know, and we've got to take time. We really got to look at what we're doing. But when you get there, it'll feel right and you'll be like, you know, it's good. Like, don't get me wrong, every now and then I do wear a suit. Like I will wear, you know, if it's like the full black tie event, they're like, hey, look, you be full black tie. I'll be like, of course, no problem. You know, that's not a problem. Don't like it as much. It comes, but yeah, it's rare I have to, like, even magician's tables, like maybe casual smart. So like maybe I don't wear the leather jacket and the cap, but I'll put like a blazer. I'm still in jeans, trainers, t-shirt, and a blazer. But so I'm still kind of myself, so it don't feel as much. But I get that because it's not just a residency gig. There's a show. There's a theme to it. It's a memorial. You're not going to really be wearing a baseball cap at a memorial, but it's kind of like way it is. It's sort of circusy looking theme. So it's like, you know, you do have like these crazy acts who look a bit different, a bit stranger. So it works a little bit there. But yeah, just you've got to do you.
Yeah, I think one of the things that you mentioned there that obviously your style and persona plays so well on is that relatability. Immediately when you're approaching tables or when you're doing gigs and things like that, people are immediately at ease because they're like, oh, okay, this is a friend. This isn't somebody who's coming to try and fool me. Like, you're not there to like get the better of them. It's not, you immediately drop those guards and you can just get straight into it. Everybody's comfortable and it just feels super nice. And as I say, relatable. Everybody just sees you as another one of them.
Yeah,
they're
exactly
immediately on side.
That's it.
Having done so much over the past few years, obviously we mentioned Britain's Got Talent, we mentioned Killer Magic. As I mentioned at the very start of this episode, it's now 10 years. It's the 10-year anniversary of Killer Magic, which is wild. It doesn't seem that long ago since I watched it, and I can't imagine it seems like that long ago since you were doing it as well.
That's it. I mean, like for us, it was like 11 years because we filmed it the year before.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
So because it came out in 2015, so we filmed it end of 2013 and then through 2014, and the pilot episode dropped in 2014, and then the full series dropped the year later. but it was it was a great experience, and one I have a lot of fond memories from, and I learned so much from that. Because especially with the pilot, we got to work with so many great people, like who helped us out. Andy Nyman came in for a day and was helping us out. We had Ian Sharkey and Stephen Long. You know, he's at the rights for Darren Brown. Like, you know, fantastic. And Neon, of course. And we had incredible minds like Ben Hart on the show, to Noel Quarter working as a consultant, Chris Cox, Jazz D, myself. You know, so we're all putting our knowledge in together. And
not a bad lineup, that.
It wasn't terrible, was it? And it's like you got like some really good, great stuff, and some of the stuff we wanted to do, outrageous, and it just didn't like work. But then there was like ones, so like I can tell you straight. So from a couple of the episodes I'd done, like there was things that never worked, not once in like the R&D sort of part of it all.
Yeah. And
it got to the day where we're like, we're just gonna have to bite the bullet and like hopefully it goes, and it fully worked on the day. We're like, how? Look, and so like some of the reactions you see from me are genuine, and like when you sort of look back past the camera at like the crew, all the crew, like it's like, oh, it's worked, like they just can't believe it's like happened, and we're like, really? Like you left us to the last minute to get it like to work? So yeah, it's quite funny.
The joys of TV, man. Some of those, especially potential one takes as well, like. Oh, that is high risk. Do you have any particular favorite moments, either stuff that we did get to see, or if the NDA has run out, stuff that we didn't maybe get to see? Is there anything that you wanted to do but maybe didn't necessarily get done? You said there that there was things that were just absolutely ridiculous, but is there anything in particular that stands out as a memory?
I mean, obviously the carding the fish trick is just hilarious. The guy's reaction, he was going on for about 20 minutes. We could have probably made a show just from his reactions, and we was all just like, "Oh my god, can we get him on every episode?" We was like, he was great, because he just lost it. Like there was so much he was saying, like, well, we were all crying, like with laughter. Where he was like, "It was in the belly of the fish, though. He had to be a fisherman to catch." Like, we were laughing, but the other bits were like more the fun stuff is like, you know, when we weren't recording, when we're messing around in the office with each other, like I was like out of nowhere, I started throwing playing cards at Ben Hart. I could throw playing cards really hard, and like there was ones where it was like it was missing him and it was stripping the paint off the door, and it's like then I got a carpet where it started hitting him, and he had like scratches full on up his back for like days. And then there's just ones where one night we're working on this routine where something had to look like champagne. We're going to change the vintage like date on the champagne, and we've gone and brought, with the money they gave us, a load of cheap bottles of £5 Carver. Like it's great crap. And this is what I used to. Me and Ben just got wasted. And, like, we're like dancing to Michael Jackson, messing around, like running into like D. Christopher's flat, winding him up, and we just it just was next day we're in the office like, oh my god, I've got the worst headache. But it was so funny. But one of the tricks I really wanted to try and come up with and see if we could do it, and it just didn't work. We was going to try and make something that first the empty glass just fills with beer, like sitting on the side. And then you see the taps where they say extra cold, and you see them all frozen up. And it was going to touch the glass, and everything inside it was just going to freeze, and it was just solid.
Yeah.
And it was just going to be so expensive. It's like, we can't do this. And I think Anthony shut that down pretty quick. Because we knew, we had the idea of how to fill the bottle. I was like, how do we freeze it? I was like, not sure yet. We can figure it out though. And I was always like, we can figure it out. But so those crazy ideas like that, which didn't come out, unfortunately.
When you guys are putting, because obviously TV's a completely different ball game to everything else. When you guys are putting a show together like that, I can imagine it differs between shows and people. How much of an input do you guys have on what is going into it? How much of an
we had quite a bit of input because we'd sit down, we would work out the themes of the show. So we'd have like a little brainstorm day. It's like, right, okay, what themes could we come up with, whether it was the money, toys, it could be food, whatever like that. And so it's like, what about this? There's maybe this trick out there which worked for like that. What about this? And so we all got to have an input. And maybe some of our ideas came to life and some didn't, or they got refined like as went through the process. So you always was involved in that decision making, which was really nice actually. You wasn't just like, you're going to do this today. And it was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like it was, you know, we all got to have a little sort of say in how we was going to do it, like what was our handling, what was our method going to be. So it all was, you know, he was always involved in that process, which was nice.
I was going to say, you often hear of magicians working on shows and things like that where they're just like, I gave them all I could and nothing got used, or they ran with their own ideas, and it's just absolutely devastating because chances are if the magician had their way, then it would be absolutely phenomenal. So it's nice to hear that you guys had such a massive input, and obviously you all have very different styles and very different ways that you guys work. So it's cool to see everybody's different iterations of what they do.
Yeah.
And the concept as a whole is such a fun concept of you guys competing against each other and then doing this big illusion at the end that has killed a famous magician in the past. Was such a fun and fresh like idea back when it first came about, and
it was fun.
It was such a fun thing to watch.
Yeah, I think as well, what you said, going back to what you said there, where like, you know, they just sort of do whatever, like nothing's get used. I think the difference of our shows was as well, our executive producer was a magician.
Yeah.
So he had kind of like the final say on a lot of stuff, which is great. So, and everyone who worked on the show, even the editors, they had worked in Magic before, whether it was on Real Hustle or Darren Brown's stuff to stuff with Barry and Stewart, with Ben Hanlon. So they knew all this stuff. And so they was so much more quick. So that's why it flowed so easy as well. Yeah. And everything had its place perfectly. And stuff wasn't just being like, you're doing this, we ain't using that. It worked.
It's loads of those little things that you forget about, like obviously understanding how magic is framed is one thing, understanding how to edit it, how to actually take a video of it when you're not at weird angles, which I can imagine is an absolute nightmare with the likes of Britain's Got Talent. Obviously Russ has an incredible input, and I know there's definitely been stories in the past that have run with like the Chronicle and things like that where the cameraman or the editors that did a particularly great job and giving away things. Yeah. So it's nice for people to have an understanding.
I say that's the issue with BGT. The hardest thing, I think Magic has the toughest time, because as soon as you've done your performance, I'm on it like instantly after, like it's not even 5 minutes, there will be a news article going, eagle-eyed viewers rumble magician. And it doesn't matter what magician it is, they all get it. And it can just be someone coming out of a wild tweet and it don't even make sense. I remember I remember doing my finals and someone was like, oh, well, David Williams was in on it because this was, I was like, I didn't even speak to David through the whole routine of the final. So how was he in on it? And it's just crazy, like how you get that. But yeah, I know, because with mine, it was pre-recorded the final because I was on during COVID. Yeah. So we had like this virtual audience watching it. And I remember on the final routine, there was the trick where I turned the phone into the photos. We had told them what camera angle to use. We had run through it all and like, you know, was watching it. And so I had like obviously Bo watching from the virtual audience as well, which was great because he could see because he can obviously make it over. And straight after I've come stage, obviously it's gone well. He's like, they used the wrong angle. They've done this. And before I could even say to Ross, he was like, I've already told him. He was like, they can't use that thing. You went like, I had a massive go. It was like, because he was like, I told you already to do this one. Why would you do that? Like, and they mark it all down when they're going around. They talk about what angles they're going to use at what point. And so it was like, oh my God. So yeah, they can catch you out on some really bad angles. So like, I feel for the ones who are like live every single round. I'm like this doesn't happen right for you. You are so like. So I was very lucky on that side that it was a pre-record the night before, and what was the only bit was live was the introduction at the beginning, and the final results at the end was live. So I was very lucky.
Yeah, cameras are so unbelievably unforgiving. Like, obviously, people then have the opportunity. I know, especially with the BGT clips, they have hundreds of millions of views online. People can go back, they can watch it in 0.25 speed, they can watch it 100 times. So, being able to shape that in accordance with working with the editors and working with the other team to make sure that it is still a genuine performance and you're still getting the point across without it just being cut to shit just to hide the method, which I think again is a whole different ball game. Like,
it's not even true then, like how it is. Like, it's not a true performance. So if you just cut and change the angles all the time, then it's like you're not really doing your job, really. So it is tough with BGT, and I respect anyone who goes on and gives it a go, because it is a completely different beast, like compared to doing a TV magic series where all they want to do is showcase the magic in the best way possible. They know the stuff, they're going to make it look fantastic, where BGT is like, we're great, we've got some good magic, but we've also got a great load of other stuff. It's at the end of the day, it's TV show first, talent show second. So they care more about viewings and numbers. That's just the honest truth. Like, that is so
Speaking of TV programs, let's take a little bit more of a deep dive in our annotated news section. We mentioned Killer Magic's fish card trick before. We're going to quickly hop in, we'll watch that, and then we'll have a quick discussion afterwards about sort of how the effect came about and the theming for that week and how the sort of story developed. Obviously, we're not going to divulge methods, but we'll sort of deep dive into what went into that.
It's Damien.
Magic's my first love and food is probably my second love, so I'm always eating. To combine the two will be great.
I'm sure his girlfriend will be delighted.
I'm really looking forward to the trick I'm going to do. It's probably safe to say no one's ever done anything like this. No one's going to see this coming.
Big talk.
Cheers, mate. Thanks. Appreciate that.
The other 4 magicians will be watching the whole trick and will deliver their verdicts afterwards. Right, come on then, show me the magic.
So guys, how you doing? I'm Damien, what's your name? Kurt.
Yeah.
And
I'm Kadeem. Nice to meet you.
I'm going to show you a really cool trick. Now, I know you're going to go eat and everything, but I'm going to show you something really awesome, okay? Now,
Alright.
I've got a deck of cards, okay?
Okay.
Just put that like that for a second. Now, so can you take any card out you like for me?
I'll take this one.
King of Hearts, right?
Yes.
Cool. Can you just sign your name on that really big? You can use this as a little table sort of thing.
That's right.
Make it nice and big and clear. Then just show the card to the camera as well. Great. So, King of Hearts. Just place it back in any way you like. Yeah? All the way in there, right?
Yes.
So, just put them away. I'm going to come back to them in just a bit. Now, today, I was given a challenge. I was told I had to do magic combining it with food. Okay? That's been the whole idea of this trick. Now, you've had your lunch from the very beginning. It's been in your hands the whole entire time. Can you slowly open it up?
Let me stand back a little bit.
Check it out. It's okay, look. Open it right up. Okay, you can see it?
That
It's your
looks
food.
so tasty.
Okay, look, I'll tell you what. Can you lift up the fish for him because he's holding the box like, yeah. Just lift it right up. That's it. So, can you break the fish open, like?
What?
Break the fish open.
No,
Come on,
don't
break
be
it
swift
open.
today.
Break it.
Break it open.
Yeah. That's it. Break it, come on.
Oh shit! Look,
Show
it's
it to the
inside.
camera.
No, look. Is that the card? Bro, the card. Fuck off. The card's in there. And it's got my name on it. Fuck. That's the card from the start.
It's your card, King of Hearts.
I don't understand, you never took the box from him.
Forget that. Did he catch the fish and then batter it? Bruv, it was inside the fish. It's not even like it was on, like, in the box, where I don't even know how that could happen, but it was inside the fish. In it. Like, the fish had to have eaten this card.
Alright, let's just...
You know what? Cheers, guys. I'm gonna leave you be. Thanks a lot.
Bro, it was inside the fish.
So funny.
I thought I'd let that full clip play out because, like, as you said before, that guy's reactions are absolutely sensational.
Honestly, we could have made an episode just of his reactions.
Everything
great.
that guy said was pure comedy gold. Like,
Yeah. It hurts
The
when I
fish
look
had
at
to
that
have
video, 'cause
ate.
I look so much younger as well. I'm like, damn it, where happened to that guy?
how do you feel about watching yourself back? I know some people are like, I'm used to this, so I watch myself back. I like watch it for like constructive criticism. Do you feel that way? Are you like, oh, this is old and cringy? Or is it a bit
No, I
both?
mean, sometimes it's nice to look back and reflect of
Yeah.
where you've come from. Like, I think it's nice to, like, oh, like, I remember this. This was so good. Like, I've seen like videos, like when I look back at the Penn and Teller Flawless one, I really sort of see like how inexperienced I was at that point when I went and done that shot. I was like, I wasn't ready for that at all. Like, you know, my talking, the way I was on camera, that I wasn't confident. Like, where this, you sort of saw the growth, and even then from that to BGT, you see the growth of the change of the performer, and always learning and adapting. But no, I don't mind watching some bits back. Some bits I'm like, oh god, like, but no, that one I always find it funny. Just more again because those reactions again. That's what I was saying at the beginning. That's what I fell in love with.
Yeah.
And so, like, when you know you make someone respond in such a cool way like that, it's really nice, and I really like that. And so it was so nice to just see him so happy and like freaking out like it. But I love that sort of moment. So yeah.
So how did this come about? Obviously, the theme for the week was food. How did the idea and concept come about? Is it something that you'd initially came up with? Is it something that you guys came up with as a team? Like, how did that work?
So this was the only concept we didn't sort of come up with, like, where the magicians wasn't really involved. It was like, because this was the pilot episode, and so it was like, okay, so we're going to do it around food. We're going to create a theme. You're going to come up with tricks with food, and we sat in the office and was all like sort of throwing out ideas. And this is actually the brainchild of Sharky and Long. And I was like, okay. And we sort of talked some. So the idea is that the card ends up in a fish. But okay. So then it fell on myself and I think it was Anthony and some of the others maybe. But mainly what I had to do was I had to come up with this idea of how do I do this. And when we figured it out, it was so good. Because what kills people, it's the other guy when he goes, you never took the box from him. How did you do it? And that's what's starting. And so many people was like, so I'm guessing did you get him to sign a second one? I was like, look at it. I went, the card is the same. You freeze frame it, you see it.
Yeah.
There's no change. And this is way before AI and all that kind of stuff. So this is like, so it just blew people away. And, what people don't realize as well, when you do TV, you do multiple takes. So this was kind of like, we knew, so we had take one, you have take one, take two, take three. So obviously a lot of people are casted in for TV magic. So you meet them because you don't want to wait around all day. You get a film and you shoot with someone and they go, yeah, I'm not signing that release form.
Yeah.
That works for no one. So basically people are like casted, they don't know what they're going to see. They just know they're going to see magic. We just know they're going to react good for camera. Like, they're not playing it up, they just got good reactions. So they would come see magic. And these guys were like really good when we first saw them. So they was kind of like your take two. Your take one is kind of like a warm-up. And take one was, it was good, that was all right. These blew them out of the water, so there was no time for take three. We was like, we don't need to do take three. That was simple as that. It was like, and like take three is kind of like your last resort. They're going to be okay, but not great as the first two. And that was the way it was done then. I don't know if it's done like that still, but like then that's how we was in. And it saves a lot of time. That way, everyone is going to be great on camera. They're comfortable with the cameras and not like all stiff and freaking out. And again, it costs a lot of money to film a TV show, and you're on times. Like, honestly, like I think it was about 25 minutes or so after we filmed that. we were straight across the road in another venue filming for Jazz. So Jazz was literally like, right, go to like this base what we set up for the day, change, get into character, get into this restaurant, and it was like boom, boom, boom. And we had like shoots what went on till like 3 a.m. Yeah. So
it's crazy. Again, these are the things
wild.
that you don't see behind the scenes. These are the things that you don't even think about. You just look at it and go, "Oh, that's cool," and then it's just forgotten about. You don't think about the endless meetings of getting methodologies correct and bouncing ideas about, and then obviously not only having the concept and idea, but as you mentioned, it then becomes expensive, potentially coming up with the actual methodologies. And did it add more pressure having the other magicians sat also watching it and being like,
yeah, because you didn't want them to catch it out. You don't want them to. And they're also like, they asked for a oh, give me 1 sec. Sorry about it. My dog has just gone nuts for the doorbell. Oh my god, my dog just went bonkers. Sorry, everyone. It does add pressure with them watching. You always want to make sure you're doing it well, and because they are in a sense scoring you. But you always just wanted to make sure you do a good job no matter what. And also you want them to enjoy the performance as well, because they're just sitting back watching it. It's like going to see a live magic show, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Obviously, each of the episodes culminated in this big killer trick. Was there any of the big illusions that you didn't obviously get to do that you were like, oh man, I would have loved to have done that?
I would have liked to have done maybe like one of the escapes, I think, which ended up being Ben having to do it. Like it was like the spike door dropping down.
Yeah.
And he had to get out of it. But again, that's the kind of thing what we used to say to it was like, if you lost the episode, you kind of got like the extra airtime. You got to do the fun stuff here.
Yeah.
Right? Like as good as it was annoying because I won or I came second on every episode. So I was like,
but also meant you weren't then like, doing all the cool shit at the end.
Yeah. So like if you won, you got to kind of like be part of the trick sort of thing. Like you administered it, like for anyone who didn't see the episode, there was one where we done like a Russian roulette thing and loads of these hooks were attached to D Christopher. Yeah, I had to put the hook like on his his little D, shall we call it? That wasn't fun. But like it was just like great. But so like I was a part of that, having fun cutting all the sandbags and everything like that. But yeah, there was some things like that. As I said, like the escape would have been really cool. I think as well the buzzsaw was really nice routine. But yeah.
We're going to go back to when you initially sort of started everything, and obviously this will have come about because of Killer Magic as well, but you were among one of the first magicians to really utilize the likes of social media, collaborations, brand partnerships. So what have you learned over the past years, blending, obviously, marketing and magic to assist with your own business? Are there any tips or any things that you've learned over the time that you'd pass on to others?
Yeah, I say if you're going to want to approach brands and marketing, if you wanted to get a sponsorship, first of all, you need to make sure it's going to feel right with you. Like if you're a very corporate guy, don't go be approaching Nike. It's not going to work. Like, you don't look the part. Like, and that's not me being, harsh. It's just truth that they're looking for. Looks what are out there. That'd be like me trying to approach, Tom Ford and saying, right, yeah, cool, give me your suits, don't wear them. It just don't happen. But the biggest thing people need to understand is if you're going to approach a brand and you're going to want to work with them, you want to get a sponsorship deal. Okay, cool. They're all going to ask you, okay, what makes you stand out from every other magician? All right, what are you going to do for us? And you turn around going, well, I can do this trick. I could do this trick with your brand. So what? So can 10,000 other magicians. What makes you stand out? Well, I've got tattoos. Cool, we don't care. What's going to make you stand out is you. It's who you are. and go, right, my personality this, I've got really great creative ideas. And what they really want to hear is how you're going to push their brand, how are you going to generate themselves, how are you going to get their name out there more. So, for instance, if you're going to look, I love your watches. I think your watches are really great. I've got this bunch of ideas which I could do. Watches, obviously, you have got to understand my main focus. Everyone is watching my hands. So your watch is going to be in view every single time I'm at an event. Every single time I have a video recorded, I have, this is my insights to how many people actually currently view my videos. So that means it's like an extra 60,000 people seeing your watch every single time because it's going to be on these videos for this long. We can maybe start with a product placement first. And if you like how it's looking, then we start talking about, right, how do we go for like a quarterly sponsorship that you start now paying me to wear this? And I do it more and more and more. For me, what helped me so much was I started getting in and I was with these different artists and celebrities, right? So then I was like, right, cool. New Era baseball caps, for instance, right? I found out, the marketing team, I was like, look, I am with these artists all the time. I'm always wearing your caps. No one ever sees it. It's kind of like my trademark image. I would love to start maybe a product placement with you and see how we could connect and what we can do. I feel like I've got a really good audience, and I think like more people then are going to see your sort of style because, yeah, I do tricks for stuff, but it is just my look, and I'm going to be at. And I listed off a bunch of big things I was going to be coming up and doing. And I was like, cool, we'd love to have a meeting with you. So you go into the meeting, then you talk a bit more, you showcase them a little bit, you allow them to get to know you. But you've got to make sure it's not going to be, you've got to deliver as well. So like every time I've done something, whether I got a small newspaper article, or if I got a bigger magazine article, I sent it to them. I was like, I don't know if you saw this, here's this. So they was really going, okay, cool, he's really pushing up, right? He's wearing it all the time. He's in the media now, it's in this. That's distributed to how many thousands this. So we're getting stuff. Same with anything. So yeah, you've got to really know what you're approaching and how you're going to approach it. And then you take that. So one of the things I do for when I'm approaching a brand, we're talking about like, and whether even if they approach me and they're saying like, oh, what could we do? Like, what do you feel like it's going to get us? I used the Pizza Express advert I'd done years ago as an example. I'll go, okay, cool. Before they filmed me, they used Alan Richmond from Manifest Food, big name food industry. Their highest view video was 48,000 views. Okay, so okay, cool. And I had like a few of them. We done one day of filming, hidden camera, like with stuff, minute-long video. In one day, it was on 1 million views. And it went viral everywhere. We had it on multiple different Facebook pages, and I think it racked up in the end at that point around 70-something million. So then we was like, no, I take that to the other people, and I'm like, so we know we guaranteed and generated more sales because people have seen that. And it is that subconscious thing like, oh yeah, I want some Pizza Express tonight. I'm going to get that. And it helps. So then you can say, right, so look, this is what's going to be done. This is an example of my work. And I kind of like strangely end up out of nowhere coming this like food magician of like, because I've done this bloody card and fish, Pizza Express advert, Coca-Cola adverts, McDonald's advert. And I was like, what's going on here? And then I was doing like stuff with Just Eat, like private events. And I'm like, thanks. Like I was like falling into this like routine. But no, I think like as well, now people have it a lot easier. Like message brands, talk to them, get them on social media. Like LinkedIn is a great place to do that. Back when it was good, Twitter used to be one of the best. There was so many people you could just find the marketing managers and stuff like that who worked in PR, look at different PR agencies, contact them, talk to them, show them what you're doing. And don't just dive into the big brands. Look at the small ones first. Get your foot in the door and learn. Then start looking at these bigger brands. But
yeah, I think a lot of people go into sponsorship deals, especially thinking, what can I get from this, as opposed to what can I offer them. And at the end of the day, it's what you can offer them that they're interested in, not what you can get out of it.
All they want to know is how are you going to boost our brand and guarantee us more sales? Like, and how are you going to work with us when we need you? And it's then like, even like if you're like, you're interested in that brand, you say, I'd love to maybe do something for free for you. Like, yeah, I'm not going to name names, but I know people who have done videos to make it look like a certain advert.
Yeah.
And people believe it's that, and then they go and show the brand it. So that way it's like, there you go. Prove to the brand what you're doing.
Have a proof of concept. You then have
to go and look at this, look how many views it got, and like look at this. Like, I've done this myself, but I think if we work together, we can make something crazy, and like we'll get this many things, and like say, I'd love to get involved and do this. And now it's that even if the brand says no, they now know of you.
Yep.
They now have got you on radar. And then it could potentially be like, hey, we didn't do this, but would you maybe want to do a party for us? We've got this event. It's like, cool, love to do that party. I'll come down, I'll perform, I'll do this. This is my rates. And then, then it could be negotiating. Like, well, what about if we give you some of this, this, and this? Guess what? Now you're starting to build a working relationship.
And that's the main thing, especially in the industry that we're in. Relationships and networking is absolutely massive. It's, not what you know.
It's everything. And that's what I used to. So when I used to go to a lot of events, there used to be this backstage area where it was Mobos or Tifa on the beach. And there'd be like these tents and stuff. And basically there was gifting lounges for the celebrities to come into. And they would go around, they get like loads of free stuff, whether it was T-shirts, mobile phones, to all kinds of crazy stuff, headphones and that. And what I would do, so I got in with that company who did that stuff. And what I'd done before the whole thing started, spoke to every single brand, gave them my card, chatted to them, done some magic for them, just talked. I'd love to speak more with you about stuff. Like, when you're free, like, when you get back, and they're like, oh my God. And all I'd done was just go over and talk really chilled, really nicely to them, and just do magic for them. And even that sometimes can be enough. But yeah, but also at the same time, I guess I could say all this, there ain't really an answer, because it can just come out of nowhere. You can just get a brand approach you. So they could be like, hey, we'd love to collaborate with you. Like, and it's like, oh, well, and then now you've got your foot in the door. So then use that after the next time. So, but that first one, just, even if it's small, get in there, do something really great.
And I think an incredible thing that you mentioned there is, even if you haven't got these viral videos that you can then take as proof of concept, you can still make stuff that isn't necessarily already made specifically for them, but you can take that as proof to then show like this is what I can bring you. It doesn't necessarily have to be these big brands. It could just be things that are doing really good for numbers, or things that are creatively very interesting with the stuff that they do. And it might initially just make that little spark when they go, okay, let's give it a blast. Let's put our trust in you, see how it goes. And it then sparks from there. And once you've got that first one, then as you say, you can use that as proof of concept for the rest of them.
The great thing with with magic, guys, we all know, you're limited by your own imagination, what you're gonna do, what you're gonna create, and create something so different out there. Like I say to you, look, when I get people messaging me, like content creators saying like, we'd love to work with a magician's table. They may not have the most followers. And I'll say to them, I'll be like, okay, cool. What I want you to do though, if we're going to sort this out in tickets, I want you to create me something so really unique then. I don't want a basic, join me on a night out to see the magician's table. Do something different.
Same as everyone else's.
Give me something unique. Can you do something else where it's like really cool? And sometimes they can't, sometimes they can. So we're always trying to push for that. And you should always be trying to push to get something different. That think outside of the box. It's no different than doing an audition for BGT. Think outside of the box. Think of what no one's even thought of to do. Like,
and again, the more different and crazy concepts, the more people that then reaches to as well, because you're coming up with things that other people aren't thinking of. And then even if people aren't going to look at the brand themselves, they still look at that concept and go, oh, that was a really cool thing that they did for this campaign. And then that comes back to you.
And this is it. Like, you can put that up, and then it's like brands will start taking notice. Other PR agencies will take notice, and you get out there and they'll be like, I saw your work you did with this. We'd love to chat with you. Because it's honestly, it's so much easier now with social media because you've got multiple Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Threads is starting to grow really well. Obviously, Twitter is still out there. It's not as much as they don't push as much anymore, but it's still there. You've got so many different things to do. People just gotta use it.
And it's so many different audiences, so many different audience types, so many different
Mm-hmm.
sort of media types as well. Photography, videos, shorts, long form. Like, there's an opportunity for everybody to create something really cool for everyone. And as we mentioned at the start with egos and magic, like, there is enough room for everyone to have a little bit of everything.
There really is. Honestly,
Again,
there's
it just comes back to creativity and putting yourself out there, and again, hustle, man.
Yeah,
massive.
Like, yeah, sit down, talk to, like, if you've got close friends who are really cool and creative, like, because there is that thing, like, there's this industry, there's some people who are just crazy creative. They don't perform, right? Maybe they're not the best performer, or there's some people who are so phenomenal at performing, but they don't really create magic, and then you've got the ones who are kind of in between. But take it, collab, work, come up with the ideas, be like, hey man, look, I've got this crazy thing, I want to do this. Can we sit down for a day and look at, I don't know, like gaming control, and think of like 10 different things we could do with it, of how like nuts it would be. And you don't have to say, right, I'm only approaching Xbox or something like that. You could be like, well, there's other companies which build controllers for them. So there's loads, and so it may not get picked up by the one you want, but you may nothing happen. But guess what? You still tried.
Yeah, you won't ever know without doing it. And again, even if it's not the one that you necessarily wanted picking you up, that may then lead in the future to them picking you up because they initially saw that thing and they were like, saw this really cool thing that you did with PlayStation, and we'd love you to do that with our controllers as well. And then it sort of spirals from there. But the only way you're going to get that is by putting yourself out there. And as you say, collaboration's massive, man. Even if the people that you're speaking to don't necessarily have the answers you're looking for, it could be the tiniest little thing that creates a massive spark that then leads to something totally different. Having multiple opinions and multiple sets of eyes on something is an absolute game changer.
Yeah, and have, like, I always say, like, the weird thing that the older I've got, more I realize that, how important it is to surround yourself with the right people, protect your peace, stuff like that, right? But also have those people, like we said early on, do encourage you, do inspire you. They're not just going to bring you negative energy and be like, no, I don't think this is good. No, I don't think it's good. My way of it. Get those people in who are going to hype the shit out of you and, like, literally going to be like, cool, man, I want to see you succeed. I want to see you do this, because that's going to help you so much more.
And it makes you feel good about what you're doing as well, which is always good.
Exactly.
We're going to move on to one final segment before we wrap this up, and that is our question deck segment, which is 52 cards, all have completely random questions on. These range from prolific life questions to the most random questions ever. We've yet to hit any of the, like, really weird and wonderful ones. They've all been like,
I'll get
magic
caught out.
related. So it could be absolutely anything.
This is a long and short deck, isn't it?
This is exactly what previous guests have said. Not gimmicked in any way, is shuffled throughout these episodes.
It sounds like typical magician talk.
No breaks.
Anyway.
Yeah. All completely different. Every single one's just the one question that I want to ask. Like, not at the price of bicycle cards nowadays. That's not happening. You call out stop, we stop where we're at, and we'll see what the question is. This creates a random question that I don't know what it's going to be, and you don't know either. So if you'd like to call out stop, we'll see what happens.
Stop.
How do you find balance between work and life?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think when I try and sort of make certain times of when I'm working, when I'm doing me time. So if I'm not at a gig in the weekdays, like, I always sort of spare like a couple of hours in the evening just to do stuff that I enjoy, like whether it's just gaming, to switch off, because gaming is kind of really is my switch off sort of place, and so is cinema. Like, that is the couple of things I find I can really switch off from life and not be thinking about stuff. You're just immersed in what's in front of you. especially cinema. Like, you know, you turn your phone off, you're just immersed for 2 hours. So it's really nice. But yeah, I think you've got to still look at it almost like as a 9 to 5 maybe, and it's like you set your hours to work from. Unfortunately, sometimes there is bits where it's like I'll be laying there in bed, like probably like most interesting. Suddenly, like all these ideas come to you, like, oh my god, this is so good, yeah, this is great, and you can't switch your brain off. But I do try to take time away from that as well and focus on, you know, my life and not only my work. As much as Magic is part of my life, a massive part of my life, and I'm very thankful for it. It's also got to have a place where it's like these things maybe come first, which is, you know, which is family, friends, you know, those sort of things. They're the more important things you've got to be there for. So yeah, you just got to make sure you balance it right and not be like on 24/7, because it's hard to do, but that's what Blackpool's for. So get it out then, get it out your system when you go Blackpool and go crazy. It's got an extra day coming up, so make sure you got more time to get even more magic out of you, and then you can rest
for the
throughout the year.
punters. Steelers, on the other hand, that extra day. Whew.
But the only other time I worked at Blackpool, I can't even say it was working, because I just took over Bicycle's Instagram and I was just walking around with a phone making every magician do tricks for me with bicycle cards. I was like, easiest job ever. Look. But I get to feel what you're feeling like next time, so because I've got to work it. So I'll be a bag of nerves. I'm more nervous about the performance than the lecture. So even though that's my first ever lecture,
yeah,
I am terrified about doing the performance. Terrified.
Is it because it's all like magicians? Because it's all your peers? Is that
as well? And it's also like, I'm like, do I go in trying to like we at least have one thing what's maybe going to fool the room or not, you know? But then I sit down and think, well, you know, I sat there and watched Matt King, and it's something like we all knew what was going on. Like, you know, but it's still funny show.
Phenomenal, yeah.
It's still like a phenomenal show, and like obviously with the international close-up show, it's, you know, I'm only doing I think it's like 8 to 10 minutes. I think that's what it is. But I'm like, okay, cool. Can I do this, or was that really kind of counting as stage kind of stuff? Can I do this? But even though you are on a bloody stage, so I'm like, I could probably do this. And so at the end of the day, my main thing I want to make sure I go away with that people find is they just had fun, they enjoyed it, yeah, because it is quite light-hearted what I'm going to do. It is quite just fun, silly. I will throw in a couple of the new tricks I've got coming out, I think, anyway. So yeah,
gotta plug them. Why not plug them in the middle of? Why not?
Well, that's it. So definitely we'll get it done. It'll be fun.
Oh, I'm excited, man. Very excited to see it. And that perfectly moves us on to what are your plans for the future? Obviously, at current, you've got Magician's Table. So if people want to see that, I'll have that linked in the show notes as well. You can buy tickets. And you might see Damien there. It's a constant rotation of magicians.
Yeah, message me, let me know, and I'll let you know when I'm in.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. What else do you have going on other than the likes of Blackpool that you've already mentioned? What do you have coming up?
Yeah, I mean, at a minute, like so many other magicians, just a lot of live shows now coming up, ready for, you know, the Christmas period. I'm in talks with a couple of gaming companies about collaborating with them on some new stuff, which is super exciting. Off to Paris soon for a very fun one. So actually, this is a first for me. I'm actually helping a couple get engaged. So, so I'm actually helping him create a moment so he can propose to his soon-to-be, hopefully, fiance. So I've come up with a full little routine. We're going to sort of stop him in the street in Paris and show some magic. And my idea is that I'm going to sort of set the scene of like there's a romantic, you know, it's the romance capital of the world, and sort of make it a romantic kind of moment for them, that they're just having a nice weekend away together. So like, you know, make the champagne appear, then it's going to pop off on its own, like the lid, or pour him a drink, make a rose appear. Then I'm going to do like a signature kind of thing where they're meant to be together, right? Your signatures are here. And then, you know, maybe like a cool, fun. Like I'm thinking maybe a PK touch where they're like, oh, okay, yeah, we're connected like this. And then the final thing will be like sort of make a box appear, but then there's no ring inside. And I'm like, oh, and then she turns around and he's holding it. So it's kind of it'd be very cool.
That's so exciting, man. And
Oh.
again, it's adding magical moments to other people's lives like that
Yeah,
make Magic so memorable and so much fun. So
yeah,
that
it's nice.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that would be a nice one. And then one of my favorites before the end of the year will be the Great Ormond Street Kids Hospital party. So they do like 5 parties over 2 days. So it's like one party's for like more neurodivergent children, and then the other parties are for like the other kids. And they literally bring them from the hospital next door into the hotel. But also it could be kids who are been patients in the past of Great Ormond Street up till 16, and they can attend these parties every year. And these parties are like wild. Like they give them everything you can think of. These kids are getting. There's like they get like F1 racing cars in there. Like these could have been driven by like Lewis Hamilton and stuff like that. And they're in, and the kids are allowed to get in. And they've had it before where like everyone can write on the car and like put their signature
really
on the car. They're giving like really cool like Christmas gift bags with all like proper toys of the year and stuff like that too. There's like giant snowball, there's stuff for the parents there, and it's just such a nice environment. Like, and it's ones like that when you realize how much a little bit of your time can mean to so much to someone else. You know, giving up a couple of hours to help at big calls like that, and you see the smiles on their faces and stuff. But yeah, that's a really like nice party. I've been ambassador for them now for nearly 13 years. It's great.
Incredible.
So, yeah, it's nice.
Always nice to give back.
It is, man. Like again, like out of 365 days a year, if you can't give up 2 hours, that's pretty
Well,
So,
it
yeah.
sounds like you've got an incredibly busy year ahead. Where can people find you? Where can we keep up to date with the incredible stuff that you're doing? Social media wise, websites, where are we looking?
Tinder.com/Damien. No, I'm kidding.
Turn this into a dating program.
I'm taking. No, it's just Instagram. Any of the social medias, just Damien Magician, all one word. You'll find me on there, and
Perfect.
you find out everything you want to know.
It has been an absolute pleasure. I will certainly be getting myself down to Magician's Table soon to come see you perform. I advise everybody else to as well. I've only heard absolutely incredible things about it. And thank you so much for sharing your time and your knowledge. You've done a whole load of stuff over the past few years, and I assume you'll have many more things coming in the future. So sharing some of the insights that you have has been incredibly helpful, not only for me, but hopefully for everybody else listening as well. So again, thank you so much.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
If you guys at home have enjoyed it, then please do let us know. Leave a comment. I'll have a read of it. If there's anything nice, I'll pass it on to Damien. If there's anything not nice, I'll pass it on to Damien as well. I won't come at you. But it has been absolutely incredible, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
Take it, please.